Wrong one, y'all. My fault. My fault, gang. My fault. My fault. My fault. We back. Oh, we back though, y'all. What's good? What is good, everybody? My apologies for being a little tardy. We had to catch my niece's game. They unfortunately lost. So good season to them though. Shout out to them. Their basketball season came to an end today, unfortunately though. So she's in sixth grade, so she got plenty of career left. So welcome everybody. Thanks for pulling up to the open gym. I greatly appreciate that. Even though I was tardy, I greatly appreciate everybody pulling up. So we're live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter tonight. Appreciate everybody again pulling up, even though I was late. So each team only got one. So new look Atlanta. Don't have the guys yet, but neither team has a should be an easy dub for Atlanta. Really, nothing easy, but Utah, they're Utah. So the newly acquired Jock Landale makes his first start, first game for Atlanta. Luckily he was in the Skyhawk system, so he's somewhat familiar with the guys in the system. I bet. So it's probably the easiest integration of the three between him, Kaminga, and Buddy Hield. So Reese Shea finds a cutting Jalen. Jalen finds Dyson on the wing for three. Yo, Bjorn, appreciate you pulling up. Uh, Let me know if I mispronounce your name. You're an NBA fan. That's what's up, man. I'm an NBA fan too, but I specifically like the Hawks. That's who I follow. But it's good to be an NBA fan. Just to appreciate the game as Ace Bailey gets one up, can't get that to go, and Filipowski winds up with that board. Silver King, appreciate you subscribing over on YouTube. I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that. So Atlanta is up by one. Like I said, nothing comes easy in the NBA. As Nikhil gets to the basket fairly easily, gets it to roll home. But Utah, they are committed to the tank already. It seems they are without their newly acquired Jaren Jackson. They don't have Walker Kessler till next year, so they won't get a full glance at their bigger picture either. Nikhil, great move as he just goes up and under right around Laurie Markkinen. So the broadcast is just mentioning about Ace Bailey's free throw attempts as Laurie Markkinen creates some space there as Markkinen is at the five tonight for Utah, which I'm assuming they're gonna switch that up when Jaren and oh yeah, Jock Landale finds Dyson. They have a pretty natural connection. Those two are on the Australian national team, so that's a good. Honestly, Jock Landale is a really good addition to the squad. Uh, Probably not the flashiest addition, but still a good, solid rotational piece for the Hawks to fill in for the absence of Kristaps now that Hawks have officially gotten off of that. So Jock Landale knocks down that triple. He's making a huge impact already. I think he might. It's gonna be an easy way to find a role on this team as he fills in for Onyeka starting tonight. I'll blow my nose, y'all. 1 second. Excuse me, y'all. So CJ checks in for the Hawks. Hawks are off to a pretty decent start, I would say. It's 13-11. So Hawks do come in. They are number one in assists. So I don't think that's gonna change, honestly. I think a lot of people are kind of questioning Jonathan Kamiga's fit with this Atlanta Hawks team. I think I don't know. I think they think Kamiga too much of a ball stopper. CJ gets that up, gets it to go. Yo, yo, what's happening? Appreciate everybody tapping into the chat. Honestly, I don't want to butcher your name, so Kayo. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that. Some marketing knocks down that triple as Utah has 1 point lead right now. So Ricochet kicks to Dyson, but that's an easy steal. So turnover for Ricochet results in a bucket for Utah. Utah goes up by 3, 16-13. So Atlanta just has to get on top of things. Excuse me. Cut this down real quick. So yeah, Atlanta trailing Utah by 3. Just mishaps here and there for Atlanta. Not being able to really get a field goal to go in that first, 5-6 minutes, or like 4 minutes really. They went like 0 of 6, 0 of 7 before they got their first field goal to go. They hit a free throw to kind of break the scoring drought, but offense kind of slow start for the Hawks, but at least it was a slow start for both teams. Utah, not that great of an effort as well. So Atlanta finds themselves down by 3. Still a chance to rebound from this little cold stretch of these back-to-back possessions. So early on, nothing really to worry about. It's been the first 6 minutes, but Atlanta shooting 36% from the field, 40% from three. So we'll see if they can turn that around, kind of kickstart that. That 0-6 start kind of shot them in the foot. But other than that, everything kind of looks good. 9 rebounds to Utah 6. Only have turned the ball over once, so it's not really. Or excuse me, they've turned the ball over twice. Um, so they can turn it around. It's nothing really too much to worry about. So we'll see. This is the first matchup against Utah this season. No, excuse me. This is the second matchup between Utah. They played Utah earlier this year, way back in November. Got that dub by 10. Utah definitely had a different mindset. They weren't definitely focused on the tank at that point, but now they are definitely focused on the tank, and we'll see how competitive they are this matchup against Atlanta. But I did not know Utah comes into tonight's matchup sitting second in assists per game at 30. So Atlanta's number one. They have 30.7. Last couple games hasn't quite been the usual assist numbers for the Hawks, but the game against Houston, understandable. Then the game against who is that? Indiana. They didn't really get back to it. I forget who they played um, between now and then. There we go. So Jock Landale finishes that feed from Jalen to get 2 for Atlanta. So it's 15-16 at this moment. As Ace Bailey sidesteps, he got open for 3. I'm surprised he didn't take that though. So Ace Bailey attacks. Jock Landale swats that though. CJ tried to find Zach in the corner. Doesn't really get there. Utah to flex that. That's great. Great defense by Jock Landale. I think that's going to be a underrated addition to the Hawks. Jock Landale. So Jock Landale has 6 points, 3 boards, and 2 blocks already early on. As Asa Newell is the first sub in the front court for Atlanta's bigs. As Reese Shake takes a break, Kispert's in for the Hawks now. So it's Jalen, CJ, Asa, Dyson, and Corey Kispert out there. Jalen just taking advantage of Isaiah Collier guarding him, getting to the line. He got right past him. So 16 to 15. 5:11 here to go in the first quarter. So Jalen looking for his first points of the game. He knocks down that free throw. So unfortunately, Jalen hasn't quite found his rhythm from the field. 0 of 4, but knocks down both of those free throws, gives himself 2 points. So Jalen has his first 2 points of the night. Jalen now has 2 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. So with the new additions for Atlanta, I think we might only have one game before the All Star break to kind of even get a somewhat of a vision of it, and we play Charlotte. So Atlanta plays Charlotte on Saturday. I'm not gonna be able to make that game, unfortunately, so we won't be there for that one. But we'll be back after the All Star break. We'll do an All Star watch along too, as Dyson finds Asa, but Cody Williams does a great job at protecting the rim there to deny Asa's um, attempt as Jalen corrals that rebound, pushing the pace. Ooh, Cody Williams just helped out marking in on that one. That's an offensive foul. So it's 17 to 18 off that Jazz turnover. CJ getting to a spot, cannot get that one to go, but Asa does a good job at trying to fight for that. They're gonna say shot clock is messed up. So 1 point game, 17-18, 3:52 left in this opening quarter. So let's see if Atlanta can finish this quarter out strong. CJ Prayer can't go. So it's 17 to 18. Wow. So Jalen hits the bench for Atlanta. Sure, Moge will be getting the backup 4 minutes. So Dyson catches a break. Nikhil back in for Dyson. So it's excuse me, 19-17. Pittsburgh catches. He drives. Good attack as he gets that to go over the Jazz defense to tie the ball game up. It's 19 apiece. So Filipowski gets the ball on a little roll, and he gets fouled as Asa fouls him. Could not catch up there. What are we doing, CJ? Come on, man. You a vet, bro. You probably thought he was gonna get away with that. So miss free throw again. Good look. Good stuff, Mo. Way to fight through that contact. Finish on the other side of the rim right there. So Atlanta now has 12 points in the paint. Off of that Mo Gay. I don't even know what that was. I can't even lie to you. Sensabaugh knocks it down. Good stuff. Nikhil finds a ceiling Asa Newell, and Asa just throws it home. Great stuff. So Atlanta's defense um, causes a turnover there for Utah. That's a great find from Nikhil too. Kind of recognize that seal that Asa has. Asa's doing a really good job on offense this year to get guys behind him, find his position, and being able to at least attack from his spots. Might not be as consistent, but he at least gets to his spots pretty easily. Sends a ball, knocks it down, boy. He feeling it. So it's two triples for Sensabaugh. He's 2 of 2. As Corey Kispert just pushes through the contact. So Atlanta now has 9 assists on 9 field goals made. 4 points for Corey Kispert. So probably gonna end the first quarter with 10 assists. Wide open for Cody Williams, no good. Corey Kispert comes up with the board. He hits Nikhil. Ooh, Nikhil with the shake and bake. Cannot finish the clip though, unfortunately. Cannot finish the clip. So Atlanta's down by one. 60 seconds to go here to close out this first quarter. Corey Kispert's fighting around screens. And CJ McCollum blocks a blocking foul. That's exactly what I thought. So it's 26-26. CJ's gone to the line. CJ knocked down that those free throws. What's happening, Ken? What's good, bro? while Filipowski hits the floor and gets the foul. Wonder what that's gonna be. So shout out to Zach, man. He was the leader last game in rebounds until Jalen kind of took over, but he has 4 rebounds already. It's kind of roll. Hey, yo, Ken, bro, don't get blocked now. Don't get blocked, Ken, bro. That's a good way to get banned from the chat, bro. Relax. I might just ban you right now, low key. So Atlanta's down by one, 31 seconds left. Atlanta's dominating in the paint though, 16 points to um, Utah's 6 points. Hopefully Atlanta can take advantage of that and continue to kind of get easy buckets at the same time. You need Atlanta to start knocking down their three ball. Corey Kispert knocks down a triple. So 12 seconds left. Atlanta gets their 10th assist. Corey Kispert now has 7 points. He is perfect from the field. 3 of 3. First 3-point field goal. Sends the ball, finds his shot, gets it right over Kispert, and gets it to go 31-30. So both teams cracked the 30 point mark tonight in the first quarter. Great stuff from Atlanta. Jock Landale, the newest addition after this trade deadline. Very busy trade deadline for Atlanta. So great stuff from the Hawks. Kind of shorthanded, no Onyeka tonight. But uh, Onyeka, Kaminga, Buddy Hield, and Gabe Vincent are out. Oh man, that's gonna be crazy. That is going to be crazy. So Atlanta, like I said, they had a pretty busy trade deadline as Ansi Soleil got to work. He turned well obviously the trade happened a while ago, but he turned Veet, Luke Kennard, and Kristaps Porzingis into Gabe Vincent, Buddy Hield, and Jonathan Kaminga. So in my opinion, it's definitely a different look. But in my opinion, I'm excited for it. Um, Obviously, I don't know how the Jonathan Kaminga minutes are going to work for Atlanta. I don't know. Ben Simpson says, feed CJ. CJ's 0-3, bro. CJ done. CJ eating. he just, he just, is just not falling for the boy at the moment. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm interested to see how it looks with Kaminga. Um, I don't know, man. I think a lot of the stuff with Kaminga was the play style. He was kind of, told to play. He probably was like, hey, just filled his role, let Steph lead. But it's more of a team effort, I would say, with Atlanta. So honestly, everybody is kind of concerned because he was yeah, Kaminga I think is definitely gonna be 6 man for Atlanta for sure. Which isn't like a diminishing role. I think a lot of people when they hear that, like they just go straight to thinking that Kaminga is not gonna get a lot of PT. But just being 6 man don't mean you not gonna get PT. Um, Atlanta has a lot of lineups where they could play, you know, shoot Kaminga at the three, or when Jalen's off, that's gonna be a lot of usage to be used when Jalen is off the floor because I think Atlanta kind of struggles with that at this moment. Because when Jalen's off, kind of relying on a random role player to go off. If it's not Nikhil or like Onyeka, So I think it's just another player to give you that boost in scoring. He doesn't have to be that playmaker. You got Dyson out there. You'll have Nikhil out there. Obviously, I don't think Ricochet is a facilitator, but if he gets his ball handle up and he can play the two, playing that two off the bench, and having Nikhil and Dyson in there. Obviously, you have CJ who can play the point guard in two. Um, so I think it's an exciting time for Atlanta. It's Asa New, let's go, let go, Rook. As Dyson Daniels finds Asa New on a break. Great stuff. Yeah, that was Dyson. Dyson finds Asa running. Touchdown, baby. Yeah, finishes with his left hand. No problem. So yeah, I think a lot of people nationally are gonna have a lot of questions to what Atlanta's doing, but since we're here watching it, a lot of the times, um, I don't know, man. Dyson at the point guard just seems more and more, excuse me, likely every day. I didn't really see it at first, but a career year with assists. It's like he's averaging about 6 turnovers to maybe what one is one. Excuse me, 6 assists to 1 turnover, I believe. Maybe 2 turnovers. As Dyson finds, hey Asa, let's go. Asa Newell just cleans it up. Dyson is back shooting a three ball now at a confidently, not necessarily consistent clip, but is confident. He hit one tonight in rhythm as Mo Gay plays good defense and Utah. Bryce Sensabaugh just gets that to go right over him. It's 33-35. But Dyson at the point guard, Nikhil at the two, Zach at the three, Jalen at the four, Onyeka at the five. Um, it just it looks a whole lot better, honestly, as Mo Gay gets in and out. But Asa Newell is fighting. He's on the ground for it. Dyson matches his effort but cannot get it back to Asa's Isaiah Collier. Nah, get that out of here. That's crazy. Mm. Still though, 33-35. But David says, "Go Knicks." Yeah. But appreciate you tapping in either way. A Knicks supporter or not, I appreciate you tuning in. We got the Hawks versus the Jazz. Hawks don't have the most competitive opponent tonight, but still, Hawks basketball is Hawks basketball. CJ McCollum misses that transition three. It's 35-35, tie ball game. Bryce Sensabaugh is kind of carrying the Jazz right now. I don't even know who that was. Good shot, Rook. It's a long one. So Philip, why does Keontae George look like he 5 years old, bro? I was so weak. He looked like somebody's kid on the bench, bro. What the hell? So like I said, Atlanta has to shoot better from the 3 point line. Dyson's drive, no good. Yeah, Keontae George is cold. He is out tonight, unfortunately for the Jazz, because the Jazz are full tank mode at this point. All their newest additions are out. John Conchar, Vince Williams, Jaren Jackson, they're all out. But Utah should be nice in the next couple years. So Utah with back-to-back buckets is now 50-35. Atlanta's come up with empty possessions here, um, in multiple possessions as Asa gets that three to go, but he gets it up, can't get it to go. Excuse me. As Isaiah Collier finds Ace Bailey running, and Atlanta is now down by 7 points. The Chattanooga native Ace Bailey gets that bucket to go. CJ McCollum gets fouled. Speaking of Ace Bailey, that's who my niece played. Ace Bailey's first. Um, Before he came down to Atlanta, he was playing high school basketball at Boyd Buchanan. That's where my niece just played her game. Boyd wasn't even nice, so I understand why he moved it to out of Chat to Atlanta. Hoop down here, in, I think with Keatron. So Jalen's back in the game. Starters slowly making their way back as Jalen finds Corey Kisper, and Corey Kisper finishes with a nice layup. So it's Dyson, Zach, Corey Kisper, Asa, and Jalen. So now, like I said, I mean, it really don't matter. It's Asa. I mean, excuse me, Dyson at the one, and I think Zach at the two. Honestly, it was Zach at the three. Corey Kisper's probably playing the two right now, technically. As Asa finds Jalen, Jalen finds Asa post up. Asa got to take advantage of this. Don't run from it, young fella. Oh yeah, that pivot work, but can't get it to go. But Asa's right there to clean it up. Can't go get that shot up though. So good effort here as Atlanta's trying to chip away. It's 37-42. They're down by five still. So Corey Kisper and Asa are the only bench players in now for the Hawks. The rest of them are starters. It's Asa, Dyson. I mean, excuse me, Dyson, Zach, and Jalen out there. Of the starting five, as Asa goes to the line, he can't hit that first one. It seems like his shot, he's just a little too anxious right now. He's just a little bit too anxious. He just need to let the nerves die down. His shots seem a little long. He might just be a little too full of energy at the moment. But that's not a bad thing. You know, he's 19 years old, 20 years old. Just a young pup, man. He's just trying to get to it as he cannot knock that free throw down. So 0 of 2 on that trip. Ace and I 7 points, an emphatic putback jam. So Ace is having a good game. So Jock Landale back in for the Hawks. No Christian Coloco so far. We'll see if he gets any burn later in this game. But Jalen playing good defense here on Ace Bailey. Great defense as Jalen blocks Ace Bailey's attempt. It's all right, Rook. You gonna get it one day. Ace is gonna figure things out. I think. So he gets blocked on that one from Jalen. Couldn't really do nothing in the post. Jalen finds Kispert. Kispert finds Landale in the corner. Landale's long on that one. So Hawks are still trailing. Offense has gone a little cold. As Ace Bailey attacks, Nikhil strips, and they call a foul. We understand Jalen played good defense there on Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey's a rookie. It ain't saying too much. Oh, we're not gonna get it. Oh man, that's crazy. We need to replay that foul, man. There we go. Jalen picks up that board. Kickball. So Atlanta's trailing by five. Really just due to their own doing really. So if they can get things together on offense, it's really not gonna be no problem. They've turned the ball over twice to get their total to come up to 4. So they just need to do better at taking care of the ball, um, playing with. I think they need to play with a little more pace. Try to frustrate Utah's offense, not let them get into their rhythm, get their shots, get their shots in the spots they wanted. You got to force them to kind of turn the ball over. So 6:56 here in the second quarter. Timeout here. Got a break in the action here. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, man. So we are back. So Atlanta, after the timeout, they got to switch their Nikhil on Lauri Markkanen. Gets that to go, breaks Atlanta's cold spell. Atlanta now has, I believe, 39 to 42. So Markkanen now matched up against Nikhil. Nikhil and Ricochet get it out of Markkanen's hands. Markkanen might have got away with a little push there at an opportune time on Ricochet as Collier gets that bucket. There you go. Corey Kispert got him in the air, going to the line. So 44-39, 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ain't no pressure. So Corey Kispert knocks down that free throw. Makes it a 4-point game for the Hawks. 10 points for Corey, 4 or 5 from the field. Corey's been gelling these past couple games. Kind of has cooled off. Kind of his thing, though. He's more of a microwave scorer, it seems like. He can come in, heat up. Um, Not really as consistent as you would like him to be, but I think he fits what Atlanta needs pretty well. As Atlanta gets a switch, Corey Kispert is unfortunately matched up against Markkanen here on defense. So Markkanen elects to rise up, and that falls for him. So Utah goes back up 5, Atlanta's coming down. Jalen finds Jock. Jock going to work right off the Jalen assist. So Jalen should pick up an assist off that as Jock Landale buries that bucket to cut the lead to three. He now has 8 points, 3 of 4 from the field. Great, great presence of mind from Jock Landale to stay composed there and keep his pivot and get that bucket. As Markkinen answers right back. No, no, no. That was a great pass from Jalen to Jock. That connection is gonna be something to pay attention to. I think Jock will compliment on Yucca as well, pretty well. um, since Jock is can kind of play the same role as Onyeka. It's not really like you're switching those two out like you were Capella and Onyeka or even Kristaps. Kristaps was a little more advanced than Onyeka, I would say. So in and out for Atlanta or Utah. And Atlanta comes up with that board as Jock Landale finds Jalen. Jalen gets the break started for Atlanta. Utah recovers pretty well. Jalen getting to the line. That's a horrible call. Yeah, that's a terrible call. We had two refs call it a block, and then we had one on the furthest away call it a charge. Come on, man. What are we doing? Easton, Orlando. I appreciate you pulling back up. What is happening, man? What is happening? We're just checking out this Atlanta Hawk versus Utah Jazz game. Atlanta's down right now, but not by too much. It's 48-43. We gotta stop in the action. It's a challenge here. But yeah, man, game is going all right. Utah is Utah, so Atlanta needs to pull this one out. This is a game. There's not a lot of must wins during the season, but this is just a game for morale wise. Atlanta probably needs to pull away with. Cause boy, if they take this L, man, I will say that it's gonna be tough. Damn, I didn't. I did switch it, did I? I don't know if I did or not. Hopefully I did. Hopefully. But Atlanta is losing. They've been trailing for a good bit. Utah has led for 52% of this game, so over half this game so far, even though it's halfway played. So they've led for a quarter of it so far. And Atlanta still has a 58% chance to win. Yeah, man. What you said, Carnell, what you said is a good trade. I like it. I like it. Facts. Jock Landale can shoot. Onyeka can shoot. Kristaps was not as healthy as everybody would have liked him to be. So hopefully he gets healthy and can play consistently over there in Golden State because Kristaps is good. It's just unfortunate for Kristaps. So hopefully he can get some health going over there. But for Atlanta's sake, I think Atlanta's cooking, bro. Honestly, and you know the position they're in, they're not weak. So yeah, the trades fill Atlanta's gaps. Um, they get a center who can, fill in. He's a competent role player. Honestly, he's a really great addition. As he is coming over from the Jazz, he got traded from Memphis to the Jazz and then Jazz to Atlanta. Damn, Jalen still has yet to record a field goal. He's just been getting his buckets at the free throw line. So unsuccessful challenge, but damn, Bailey gets his own rebound. So lead extends to 7 for Utah as Atlanta is sitting at 43. Offense has not been that great this game altogether. As Jalen now has another turnover, trying to get that ball to Jock Lando. That's really his first, live ball turnover. He got a charge that counts as a turnover. So Lauri Markkinen knocks it down. As Jock Landale cannot knock that down. As Lauri Markkinen had a good closeout. Short Jock isn't used to 7-footers having a closeout like that. So Lauri Markkinen now has the ball. Riche has that responsibility now. And he has no option but to foul Lauri Markkinen on that one. So Markkinen um, knocks down that first free throw. Atlanta's got to get it together though. They are playing a little short-handed, but still, it's Utah. This is Utah, man. Come on, what are we doing? There we go. Nikhil finds Jock Lando in the corner, and that one is good for Jock. Jock Lando now has 2 of 4 from three. So two threes, 11 points for Jock. So Atlanta forces a turnover here as Collier and his teammates have a little miscommunication there. Jalen bringing the ball up for Atlanta. It's a great look as Atlanta got to their offense, got the first option pretty easily. As Nikhil was that cutter or pick and pop, I should say. But Nikhil gets to his feet in the paint, knocks down that field goal. A little midi magician for Nikhil. No problem for Nikhil. As CJ closes out on Sensabaugh, and Sensabaugh fails to connect with much. He hits the back of the backboard. Jalen and Jock having a little two-man game. Gets a switch. Jalen and one. Let's go. They not calling that one a charge. As Jalen fights through the contact, and that is an easy bucket. So Jalen Johnson's going to the line for a 3-point play opportunity. Jalen also knocks down his first field goal with that one. So Jalen knocks down that free throw, gives himself a 3-point play. Yeah, man. Street Lemon. I really do think it's a possibility. Atlanta turns it around. It's a 4-point game. Utah is I think they're locked in on the tank, to be honest. So, um, I think this is more so just Atlanta having mishaps more than anything as they turn the ball over um, again. So Utah has a out of bounds play. They get it in. It's a 4-point game. I don't think it's over for Atlanta as Collier. Come on, bro. Jalen's just standing around. Come on, we got to get to that board, dog. As Lauri Markkinen knocks down that triple. If Atlanta plays like that, which I don't think they will, then they're gonna take a L for sure. Jalen finds Jock Landale, Jock in the paint. He finds a cutting Dyson Daniels for a bucket. So it's 53-58. The addition of Jock Landale has already proven to be beneficial. Jock, like I said, he played in the College Park system, so he's a little familiar with the, I would say, the system Atlanta's running. But still, It's great stuff from Jock Landale as Dyson tees him up for three. It's 56-60. Jock Landale now has 17 points as he leads all Hawk scorers tonight. With 1 minute to go in the first half. So Atlanta can turn it around. At about 2.5, maybe 3 possessions left in this first half. So marking in off the mark, Jalen grabs that board for his sixth rebound. Jalen brings it up for Atlanta. Thought about teeing it up. Marking in closed out. Finds Jock Landale for three. It is now 59-60. Jock Landale has 20 points as an Atlanta Hawk. Great stuff. So Street Lemon, they turning it around right now as Isaiah Collier is going against Dyson Daniels. Almost lost the ball there. Let's go. Let's go, Kill. Kill guarding marketing. That's a turnover. Jalen Johnson picks off the passing lane. He's on the push. Hey, let's go. Man, let's go. As Atlanta takes the lead, as Street Lemon was wondering if Atlanta's going to turn it around in the third and fourth quarter, you didn't even have to wait. They are on an 18-5 run in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds to close out this second quarter. They've done a great job here as Isaiah Collier and CJ McCollum get tied up. And it's going to be a jump ball for CJ McCollum and Isaiah Collier. So CJ McCollum clamping up. Great stuff. So Atlanta's more than likely going to go into the halftime break with a 1-point lead coming off an 18-5 run. So Ben Simpson, you right, man. I didn't think he was going to be that great, but I thought he was going to fill in nicely. Jock Landale, bro, turned up 20 points. Oh, excuse me. I jumped the gun, y'all. I jumped the gun. He has 17 points. 17 points. I thought he had 20. My stream was a little bit behind, so my apologies. It was a little more behind than it usually was. So great game, man. Great game for Atlanta. Really slow start for some of them, some of the guys. But hey, Jock Landale, bro, 17 points, 6 of 8 from the field, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Nikhil shooting well, 5 of 8, 10 points, 3 assists. Dyson, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. CJ hasn't found his shot. He's 0 of 4. Neither has Jalen. He is 1 of 6, 5 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. So typical game from Jalen. Hey, Street Limit says keep it up. I appreciate Street Limit for betting on the Hawks because everybody that taps in the chat tells me that they took the other team, whether it was the over or under. So I got to be a low-key hater, but somewhat supportive of them getting some money. So now I can cheer you on willfully. Sometimes folks would come in and be like, hey, I took Nikhil on the over, Jalen on the over, points, rebounds, assists, points, and assists. So hey, shout out to you, Street Lemon. You a top 5, man. You a top 5 in the open gym right now. Not too many folks come in and tell me they taking Atlanta on the bet, so on the money line, whatever you took them as. But shout out to you, Street Lemon. I hope you get your money, bro. I hope you get your money. But Jock Landale finna get his money. That's what I know for sure. 17 points from Jock Landale, bro. Picking it up nicely. Jalen's about to have a triple-double, and he doesn't even have more than 2 field goals. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Interesting times in Atlanta. The new additions is going to be crazy, I think. Just thinking about how just thinking about how what you call it, how they'll integrate Kaminga. What y'all think though? What y'all think about Atlanta's trade deadline moves? I think it was a give me a grade in the chat. Y'all hit the chat. Give me some grades for the Atlanta's trade deadline moves. They moved off Chris Stapps. They moved Luke Kennard. They moved V. V was probably the most heartbreaking for me as a fan. I would say probably wasn't the most impactful, but he was a fan favorite. So V Krejci's in Portland. I did watch the Portland game the other night when it was on. I did find myself cheering for V. I didn't. I don't know. I knocked out, bro. That game was on late as hell. I could not make it through that one, but it was a good one. Portland was up. V was, contributing. It's weird to see him in a Portland Trailblazers jersey. Um, that's gonna be tough, bro. So I already know, bro. I already know, bro. When I see Trey in that Wizards jersey and he's hooping, oh my god, I'm finna be sick. And that's not even like saying like I'm not one of those fans that keeps bringing Trey up and when we lose and whatnot. Like trust me, I'm not one of those. Like so you don't got to worry about it. I know how to be rational about my fandom, somewhat. Let me rephrase that before somebody get on me. I know how to be rational about my fandom somewhat, and not having Trey, it just sucks because Trey is just really 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 good, bro. I don't think people realize how good he is, bro. He like my height doing those things in the NBA. So like I'm like damn, bro, that man is special. So it just sucks that another team gets to say they have Trey Young. Um, that was kind of the fallback for Atlanta. It's like, hey man, we got Trey though, so we gonna be able to do a little something. So Trey got some help. I think Washington did really good. So if AD can stay healthy, I really hope they can stay. He can stay healthy to close out his career. That'll be good for AD. It'll be good for Trey to kind of rejuvenate um, the narratives around his career too. So hopefully he can build up that team and kind of do the same thing he did with Atlanta. So I'll be tuned in to Washington. Um, I was a little hurt at the start, like right when Atlanta traded him. I was like, bro, I'm never watching Washington. Fuck the Wizards. I was in my feelings, but now I'm a little more rational about it. And I could probably watch a Wizards game or two with Trey on the floor. That's just gonna hurt, bro. Especially when Trey come back to Atlanta in the Wizards jersey, bro. I'm gonna be sick. I know the Wizards are tanking too, but I do hope they let Trey come back and play in the games where they play Atlanta later in the year because it's like I think March or something. I don't even think it might be the end of February to be honest. It might be the 24th. So Atlanta's gonna be taking on the Wizards. I could be wrong, but still, man, that shit gonna hurt. I promise you that it's gonna hurt to see Trey in another uniform. It's still weird to see like John Collins hoop whenever we play them. Um, I don't miss John Collins as much as other Hawks fans. He was nice though when he was playing for Atlanta, but the emergence of Jalen Johnson has kind of giving me some recency bias. So like more about this team. Enough reminiscing. Shout out to Clint Capella too. Shout out to Clint. It's weird to see him in a Houston jersey. I kind of wish he retired with Atlanta. Kind of wish it was more graceful than it was. But y'all, it can't be perfect everywhere. Even Steph Curry's story right now is a little wishy washy. The franchise is just letting him down, I think, in my opinion. So honestly, if we would have kept Trey, it, it could have been just more let down. The franchise not fulfilling their duty to surround him with at least I don't know an all-star caliber talent. I think what sucks now is we had that Jalen and Trey were gonna be leading the team in with all-stars appearances. So he would have had his first all-star teammate low key. So it kind of sucks that he wasn't able to like finish out the job. But I don't think Atlanta would have made any of the moves they made at the deadline if Trey was still on the team. So, you know, it is what it is. And with how Atlanta's sitting right now, dog, whoo wee. Don't think Gabe Vincent's gonna impact as much. He will be solid. Heard some good things about him like in the locker room. So with Atlanta's young guys, I'm sure him and CJ McCollum will definitely be good additions to the locker room to kind of keep these guys focused and kind of let them know, what a moment is. Gabe Vincent played in Miami when they were in the bubble, went to the finals. They had successful years, serious years. Um, CJ, he has experience in Portland with serious years. So I think those two are gonna be impactful if the Hawks keep those two around, and even Buddy Hield. I mean, Buddy Hield hasn't made it too far. Probably hasn't even made it past in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. But still, somewhat of a vet to kind of keep these guys on some sort of track. And Jonathan Kaminga is still young, but still kind of knows what high level of play is needed to compete at a high level. So I'm excited. I know the game of Jonathan Kaminga doesn't necessarily enthuse a lot of Hawks fans. They're kind of doubtful of how the fit is going to be with him and Jalen. But if Quinn can execute those two, which I think that's what obviously his job is to work with the guys he's got. But I think he can do a good job at integrating Jonathan Kaminga in there. I mean, look what he's done with Dyson, a guy that isn't too much of a threat on the 3 point line. He still is a really big impact on offense and defense. So we'll see, man. I think Coach Quinn can integrate Jonathan Kaminga pretty nicely. So we'll see. So we got the halftime break almost ending. I'm gonna use this time to hit the restroom one more time before we get started and the second half gets going. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, we back, y'all. Halftime's over with. Got me a water. Starters back out there. Shout out to Jock Landale though. This is the Jock Landale game for sure. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I better not be getting sick again. Good steal. Ricochet gets the steal. Stops Utah's first possession. So great stuff coming out of the break. Jalen finds a cutting Dyson for a bucket. Dyson now has 9. I believe Jalen has 6 assists. As Ace Bailey gets the shot up, Ricochet does a good job closing out there. Jalen gets the board, bringing it up for Hawks. Finds Ricochet, no dip in the corner, no good on that one. It's a good shot though. It's a quick one for Atlanta. Cody Williams, no good. He got left wide open as Ricochet gets that board. 63-60. Dyson finds Jalen. Jalen rises up, finds Nikhil. Nikhil finds Jock. Jock gets an easy dunk. So the Jock Landale game keeps on going. 65-60. So continuing over from the first half, Hawks are now on a 22-5 run. As Isaiah Collier makes contact with Jock and gets that one to go. Hey yo, it's Nikhil's quick three, can't bounce in. Ace Bailey can't get that triple to go. Jock Landale gets the board, gives it to Nikhil. Nikhil pushing the pace. Easy work. Easy work as Utah cannot get back in time. 67-62. Atlanta's defense smothering at this point. They are smothering at this point. And they need to do just that. It's defense to offense right here. Whether they get the board, steal, a block. Yep. It was only a matter of time, y'all. As Jock Landale has already been donned, young Jock is over with. His time in Atlanta might have been extended 3 or 4 years. He put together a couple good games, man. He gonna have the fan base behind him for life. I promise you that, man. Atlanta loved him a cold ass white boy. Pero Antich, they loved him. Mike Muscala loved Mike. Even though Mike, he wasn't really like, you know, he wasn't really trying to force nothing. Neither was Pero Antich. Zaza, um, they loved him a cold ass European, bro. Hawks fans loved him a cold ass European, so they gonna love Jock Landale. I know that. Um, he got 19, bro. He have a couple 20-point performances, bro. They gonna love that man. They gonna love that man for real in the city. I promise you. So Jock Landale operating perfectly. 19 points, 7 of 9 from the field. Has a couple threes. Great stuff, man. He's leading Atlanta's scores right now. If I'm positioned weird, it's because my cat is in my lap. She just wants attention at this moment. But great stuff from Atlanta coming out of the break. Utah has called a timeout. Atlanta's up 67-62. I'm interested, man. I'm interested to see what this Atlanta team looks like before I make any, you know. I won't make a definitive statement. I'm trying not to make that many definitive statements in my fandom. But with Onyeka coming back, Jonathan Kaminga being integrated into the lineup, Buddy Hield as well, it's just gonna look different for the Hawks. Hawks get shooting guard depth with Buddy Hield. They get front court depth with Jonathan Kaminga. Obviously, Jock Landale is going to be a big part of the rotation going forward. Onyeka is going to be healthy. Um, he just had a dental fracture, so he was questionable tonight, but he got ruled out, which I'm okay with. I'm perfectly fine with Onyeka sitting out tonight. It's the Utah Jazz, bro. There's no need to come out and catch an elbow to your face for no reason against the Jazz. Great stuff as Jock Landale denies Lauri Markkanen's fadeaway. That's great stuff. That's tough. 7 footers fade. That's tough. As Kyle Filipowski cleans that up. Not used to Utah having two of them tall ass Caucasians out there. So 64-67 3-point lead for the Hawks. Jalen is operating in the post. He's going to work. It's too little, but too short on that one. Turnaround is no good. As Markkanen loses a dribble, passes it up to Collier. It's now 3-point, 67-64. Ace Bailey gets to his spot. Gets his own miss. Hey, follow your shot, youngins. If you out there, follow your shot as he cleans it up. And excuse me. So we got a foul call. I thought that was a timeout. Thankfully, it was just a foul. So loose ball foul, still staying here for Atlanta. But yeah, Ace Bailey makes it a 1-point game, and Jock Landale is fouled as Lauri Markkanen is just tired of getting beat on that on that little lob there. So yeah, it looks like Mo and Asa are gonna be kind of relegated to that on again, off again role. Um, as Jalen attacks and he finally gets that to go. Thought he was fouled there, probably did too. So 69-66, Jalen has 7. He's 2 of 8 from the field. So shooting wise, it hasn't been the greatest night from Jalen, but hey man, he is operating just fine elsewhere. So Atlanta's now shooting 49% from the field compared to Utah's 44%. So I believe the starters are still out there for Atlanta. It's Nikhil, Dyson, Zach, Jalen, Jock Landale. Jock got to start for Onyeka. He's still dealing with that dental fracture. Like I said, he had surgery the right after it happened. As Ace Bailey gets that baseline jumper to go, 68-69. Ricochet played decent defense there. Ricochet on the wing, can't get that to go. Jock Landale tips it out to Jalen. Jalen and Dyson gonna have a little 2-man game here. Jalen over Lauri Markkanen, he can't get it to go. So Atlanta's having a little cold stretch, maybe a little settling going on here for the Hawks. Ricochet got a good look, but Jalen's 3 was a little forced. So Utah now takes the lead. It is now 70-69. I'm glad Quinn is not electing to call a timeout here. So foul on the pass to Nikhil. So Atlanta's down by 1. So the cold spell on offense is back, which is typical. So Dyson finds Jalen. Jalen operating now. Finds Nikhil. Nikhil gets in. That's what Atlanta needs. So the Gabe Vincent trade has been made official per Atlanta Hawks and their PR team. So thank you, Luke Kennard, LK Fotre. No more, unfortunately. But your tenure in Atlanta will be forever remembered. A short tenure, but hey, those three balls were nice to remember. So shout out to Luke Kennard. His short tenure for the Hawks did not last. Him and Kristaps gone in a blink of an eye. So Nikhil knocks down both those free throws. It's kind of crazy how fast things change in the league. Atlanta came into the season. Trey Young, Jalen Johnson, Chris Stapps were kind of head of the snake. Now it's now it's just Jalen and the guys that were, you know, we were hoping would have a leap year, kind of have proven themselves. And I think the biggest surprise is definitely Nikhil. Him going from 9 points to 20 is just insane, bro. So I think he needs the recognition. As Ricochet cuts, that's a great shot. As Jalen found Ricochet cutting, but Ricochet just can't get that push shot to go. Probably just needs to dunk on somebody. So Collier operating the offense for Utah. He finds Cody Williams. His three is no good. Atlanta fighting for it. So CJ McCollum coming in for Atlanta. I'm sure he's gonna get in the queue. So yeah, Utah's gonna be nice, man. They made some moves at the trade deadline as well, acquiring Jaren Jackson and some pieces from Memphis. I thought it was offensive, Kyle Filipowski. So 70-71. So 6:40 left in this third quarter. Yeah, both teams tied at 7 turnovers. So Atlanta just needs to control the ball, and as I say that, the miscommunication between Dyson and Jalen, and so Utah comes. I mean, excuse me, Atlanta comes away with that, and oh my God, I read the future. Utah comes away with that. So tough sequence for Atlanta as they had a 3-on-1, and it results in a turnover. CJ McCollum can't get that to go. It's gonna be a loose ball foul on Jock Landale. Yeah, that alley was crazy. Shout out to Ace. Hasn't had the best shooting night, but he has 10 points, 5 of 18 from the field. Tough night for Ricochet. Hasn't quite had the best game. There you go. Jock gets the board. He finds Dyson. Dyson brings it up, finds Corey Kispert. Corey finds cutting Dyson. Dyson finds Jock cutting, and Jock gets the bucket. 21 points for Jock. He has 21 points, 9 boards. He's 8 of 10 from the field. Dyson picks up that assist there for his fourth assist. So we got a defensive three in the key on Jock Landale. So Atlanta's up by one, but probably gonna be evened up here as Lauri Markkanen knocks down that free throw. It's 73 apiece as Jock Landale gets a breather. So Asa checks in for Jock. So Christian Coloco probably not gonna crack the rotation this game. Markkanen tried to posterize Asa. Asa said, "Hell no, nah, get that shit out of my face." It's a blocking foul. So shout out to Asa getting big, denying that Lauri Markkanen dunk attempt. Lloyd Markin thought he can get that poster boy. I said, hell nah. Said, go back to Finland on that one. Ooh, Dyson's free throw cannot roll home, but he's looking more confident with that shot, so that's all we can ask for. So tie game, 5:03 to go. Dyson at the line. Unfortunately, can't get that second one either. So empty at the free throw line. Dyson 9 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. Ace Bailey for three, in and out. Shot looking good though. Jalen gets it ahead of Dyson. Dyson finds Corey on the wing. Corey no good. Dyson tries to tip it out. Jalen coming through with a full head of steam. That windmill and no problem. Let's go. 75-73. Jalen comes through the lane with something to say. As Utah responds pretty quickly there, Jalen gets the ball inbounded fairly fast. Hot potato between CJ and Corey, and Ace are trying to fight for that offensive board as that three cannot go for Atlanta. Ooh, Isaiah Collier put Corey Kispert in the spin cycle, man. It's all good, though. It's all good. Jalen finds a cutting Corey Kispert for a bucket, so he answers him right back. So it's 77 apiece. No problem. Jalen Johnson now has 10 assists. You about to have another triple double, dog. 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists. So great stuff. As Jalen is not gonna let the it wasn't no windmill, but that brought it to his hip though. That jump was special. That jump was special. I can't even lie. So Atlanta is now tied. They're tied. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be going down to the wire. I expect how it's gonna go is Atlanta's gonna build this lead back up, and then they're gonna let it go again. As much as Utah is trying to tank, like I said, man, every team is gonna be competitive. They're not just gonna come out here and just chuck shots. They're just not gonna come out here and chuck shots and try to lose the game. So every team remains competitive, even though Utah is 16 of 35. It just is what it is, man. Every team's gonna come out and try to win at least. So Atlanta just has to put their foot on the gas and not look back. And that's one thing you want to see Atlanta have as a trend. You want them to see, even though you're gonna have games like this where you have a slow start, you have slow quarters. Some things just aren't going your way. But Atlanta needs to recognize that. God damn. One second. Golly, I'm about to break down. But they just need to recognize that these are teams where they're not competitive, and the record does reflect that. Um, but Atlanta just has to start making this a habit in closing out games where the competition is not that great. Because honestly, in my opinion, that's going to. Because the more you do that against like the bottom feeding teams, the more likely you're gonna do that against competitive teams because it's habit. So Atlanta needs to form good habits as as Atlanta is. I think they're trending upwards. I think they have the possibility to be a really great team. Especially with the additions of Jonathan Kaminga. Honestly, I think fringe players can honestly kind of be plug and played. But with the certain core guys that Atlanta has, I don't know, man, it can be special. As Utah comes out and breaks the tie after that timeout, 3:40 to go in this third quarter. As Jalen now has the ball, he finds CJ. CJ rises up for three. Cannot get that to go. So empty possession for the Hawks needs to be answered by a stop for sure. Sensabaugh. I was gonna say that was a good shot. That was a good shot for Atlanta, but Sensabaugh can catch flame, and that seems to be what it is there. So Jalen attacking. He finds a wide open CJ McCollum, and CJ just hits that reverse. So Atlanta now shooting 6 of 25 from three. That's going to be the key to the game. If they can start knocking down their outside shots, I think they can separate themselves from Utah. As Corey Kispert fouls Sensabaugh on the drive. Kim Walsh says, "Can't believe the Bulls didn't get Landale, and now he's starting." Yeah, Hawks did get that steal. I would say the Hawks might have had a little more info on Jock Landale because Jock Landale has he um he got traded um in the I believe it was the New Orleans trade where they traded Dyson and Larry Nance. Um, I believe he played for the Skyhawks and then got cut. I could be tripping, but he did spend some time in Atlanta. He could. It's. I don't know if he spent a lot of time. It could have been just literally here and there, but he was somewhat comfortable with the system. I think Atlanta was comfortable with acquiring him and had some prior knowledge to what he brought to the table. And he was having a good year so far. Had a good year in Memphis as Jalen finds Nikhil for Jalen's, I believe, what is that, 10 or 11? So that is assist number 12 for Jalen, excuse me. So it's 81-84. So Jalen has 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 12 assists. So Ace Bailey, he's getting them up. He finally gets one to go. He is now 6 of 20 from the field as Jalen finds Corey Kispert. That foul is going to be on the floor. So Atlanta's trailing by 5, 86-81. It's been a familiar place for Atlanta. It's been been trailing this game more than you would like. So Will Hardy letting his guys know they messed up. But Kim Walsh mentions that Atlanta did come away on top with that trade. Speaking of, he did come from Utah. He did get traded in that Jaren Jackson deal, I'm pretty sure. Um, but Atlanta got him just for some cash, so didn't even have to send a pick, a player, nothing like that. Just our good friend cash consideration. Excuse me. So it's 83-86 as Corey Kispert knocks down those free throws. Hawks are now in the bonus for the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. Nikhil guarding Isaiah Collier. Oh, almost turnover, but Utah gathers that possession as CJ is guarding the wing. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, and he gets the bucket. So Nikhil bringing it up and one. Get big on him, Kill. Let's go. As Kill knocks down that tough layup through contact. It's 85-89. Yeah, Utah didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do, man. There we go. Nikhil is one of the most consistent free throw shooters for Atlanta. He knocks down that free throw and converts the 3-point play. So Hawks now are down by 3, 86-89. 140 left in this third quarter. Let's see if this defense can find some stops. And Ace Bailey silences that one, gets that backdoor cut, and an easy bucket. So 14 points for Ace Bailey, and Hawks get it right back, and that's a goaltend. So Atlanta gets that bucket, and they'll go to Corey Kispert off that Jalen Johnson dime. Excuse me. So it's 88-91. It's a 3-point game, 120. And like I said, hey, I didn't even have to say it. Nikhil almost got this deal. Let's see if this defense can get something. They're itching for it. As Asa and CJ close out on that jumper. And Jalen hangs. Gets that bucket to go after that Utah bucket. It's 93-90. Sieve, I think that's all I'm gonna try. Sieve. So Jalen has 11 points, 14 assists. He now has a double double. Pretty sure that's a league leading double double, if I'm not mistaken. Sensabaugh trying to get it to go over Corey Kispert, and he does. So it's 95-90. Atlanta's trying to kind of turn the corner here against Utah. Jalen going to work, finds Keel in the corner, no good. Asa fights for that. He comes away with it. He finds CJ. CJ finds Corey. Corey finds Jalen. Jalen finds the rim. He gets his board. He attacks. They can't stop him. It's 92-95. It's a 3-point game. 15 seconds left in this third quarter. Jalen now has a triple double in 3 straight games: 13 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists. Great stuff from Jalen Johnson. It's a 3-point game. CJ playing defense. What? Wow. So Atlanta had a foul to give, and CJ, thankfully, because that was some, that was a suspicious call right there, as CJ kind of got the. Yeah, I don't believe that. Isaiah Collier got bailed out there. Moge enters the game for Atlanta for Asa, I believe, maybe. No, Jalen. So Jalen gets a break. It's Asa, Moge out there. It's interesting goal for Atlanta. Excuse me. So it's gonna be 4 tenths on the game clock, as they said, no, you tipped him on his palm. Your fingertips brushed his palm. Yes, yeah, you hit him. You brushed it right here. That's just what we gotta call. Your fingertips brushed his. Get out of my face, man. Get out of my face. So since the ball going to the line, trying to make this a 5-point game. But ball don't lie, man. Ball don't lie. As he hits one, but he's gonna eventually miss the other one. I'm not. I'm not. I'm a little behind. I'll be getting updates, and it tells me the end of the quarter. So through 3 quarters of play, it is 96-92, and Atlanta is down by 4 as they turn this quarter. It's 30. Turning this quarter, it's 36-31. Utah leads by 5 this quarter. So Atlanta lost this third quarter, unfortunately, after winning the second and then losing the first by 1. So we'll pay attention to that, see how well this fourth quarter goes for Atlanta. They should close it out. I say should. I don't want to shoot on them, but still, they are 16-35. They gotta recognize, man. These are the games they gotta recognize that. Um, oh man, they took a rebound away from Jalen. That's tragic. So shout out to Jock Lando. This is the Jock Lando game. I can't lie. 21 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from three, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks in 21 minutes. So great stuff. He is, like I said, he can be highly embraced if he keeps this play up and this amount of effort, which I do envision um, him having a good tenure with the Hawks. Because Atlanta's fan base do love them a cold ass European boy. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I started to list at Pero, Zaza, Pero, Mike Muscala. Even though he was American, um, really it really fell off after Mike Muscala. Kyle Korver, that was really it. And then once Luke Kennard came around, I think fans started to appreciate Luke Kennard. But they've been waiting for one, man. Jock Landale might be him. But shit, man. Atlanta's core, man. I'm really excited. I can't lie. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what this duo of Jalen Johnson and Jonathan Kaminga can bring to the table. It's not even just a duo. I think a lot of people kind of don't realize what Dyson can bring to the table, what Nikhil brings to the table, what Onyeka brings to the table. So Atlanta is really building something, and I can get behind the vision. I don't know for certain that I can say I see the vision completely and where it's going, but where it's at right now, I'm feeling positive. Jalen playing really well. Onyeka playing really well. Really just need. I would say Dyson's playing really well, even though the shooting isn't necessarily displaying it. As CJ McCollum going to work, getting to that spot and getting to the bucket. So 94, 96. But like I said, Dyson's definitely improved in other areas of his game. You want to see Zach take a leap as Dyson gets that board. Oh, Milo messing with our cat. So good stuff as CJ McCollum, I believe, gets that bucket and or excuse me, Dyson or no, excuse me, Dyson got the assist, CJ got the bucket. Um so some games it is just unfortunate. Atlanta goes through cold spells on offense. Sometimes they can just not buy a bucket. Defense is sometimes all right in those spells. They are sometimes good enough to keep Atlanta in the game, which they have this game. Because sometimes the opponent isn't necessarily that competitive, which Utah would be that. But Atlanta does. They do have slow quarters, and that kind of shoots themselves in the foot. So I would say Atlanta does have games like this very often, where they just fail to take care of business and leave the door wide open for teams who maybe shouldn't have the possibility to come back. So thankfully, Jock Landale gets a foul call. As you know, he was getting harassed there. But yeah, street linen. I think it is pretty frequent where Atlanta leaves the door open to opponents at the end of the game to make it a game. Because sometimes Atlanta against good teams they have to come back. I mean, they even have to come back against bad teams. It's just sometimes Atlanta cannot buy a bucket. That's really all it is. I wouldn't even consider Atlanta like a bad team. They just need to find a way to continue stringing together possessions where they get stops and they get a bucket. However, they can do that. Corey Kispert saves the day for three. So it's 99 to 100. Thank God Corey Kispert hit that because it was like 1 second on the shot clock. So Dyson's harassing Isaiah Collier on ball here as he finally gets a screen to get that switch and he takes advantage of it as he shoots it right over CJ McCollum. So lead is at 3, 9 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. So the opportunity for air is closing somewhat as Jalen checks back in for the Hawks as it's going to be a side out as the shot clock was expiring and Corey Kispert knocks down that triple to give himself 20 points. So Corey Kispert has 20. Moge, quick little stint. Jalen it comes back in for Mo. Jalen finds a cutting Dyson Daniels. He can't get that to go, but his national teammate picks up the slack and cleans up the board. It's 101-102 as Jock Landale now has 23 points, 11 boards. As Sensabaugh gets a shot up, can't get it to go. Jalen now officially has that triple double. Landale finds Dyson and Dyson gets it to go. It's 103-102. Great stuff. That connection is definitely solidified. Dyson and Jock, young Jock, as Steve gets it on the wing. Dyson tries to close out and he gets it to go. Gets that little runner to go. So it's 104-103. They're trailing by 1. 8 minutes to go. Dyson brings it up for the Hawks. Hands off with Jalen. Jalen rises up. 3 looked good. Just can't get it to go. Ricochet checking back in for the Hawks. Next dead ball. Hopefully Atlanta can get a stop here as Isaiah's going downhill. Pushes it strong off the board and knocks it down. Dyson pushes it ahead to Corey Kispert. Pretty quick, but nothing comes of it. Dyson attacks, no problem, but the problem was finishing the shot. 106-103. Dyson, good drive, aggressive drive, just can't get it to go. As Isaiah Collier gets it up, Jalen gets the board, but it's poked away by Utah there. So Jock Landale, man, shout out to Jock, young Jock. His Atlanta now has a couple subs. As Jock Landale hits the bench for Atlanta. That duo of Jock and Onyeka is gonna be pretty lethal. Um, both players can stretch the floor for the Hawks, so they can get to the boards. They can play defense. It's gonna be a great addition overall. So Atlanta's now trailing by what? By 3. It's 106-103. Jalen now has 13 points, 11 rebounds, 14 assists. Damn, Zach. Zach having a tough game. 6 rebounds, 0 of 6 from the field. So hopefully Zach can get on the board and not have that egg on the score sheet. That'll be tough. He's had good looks, so it's not like he's you know just forcing shots. Just hasn't fallen for Zach, unfortunately. So hopefully he can get a couple to go here in this fourth quarter. Oh man, but yeah, Atlanta is a little short-handed. No Onyeka tonight. I can finally stop saying no Kristaps. Sheesh. No diss to Kristaps, but hopefully he can, like I said, find some consistent health and be consistent for the Warriors. But hey, we're here now. But today, this game is a tragedy from 3, unfortunately, for the Hawks. They're now, excuse me, mustache itches. But the Hawks shooting 7 of 30 from the field, 23% from 3-point line. Excuse me, not from the field. 7 of 30 from the 3-point line, 23%. It's going to be a tough game overall. Haven't imposed your will on defense. Utah is sitting at 7 turnovers. Just got to improve that. Defense isn't clicking as much for the Hawks as it usually does. They're not really creating the havoc they do. Um, so it's kind of something to pay attention to. I mean, there's still time left, 7:30 in this game. Um, but they are shooting the same amount from the field overall as Utah. 41 of 83 for the Hawks. 42 of 84 now. So they are shooting 50%. They have the same amount of shots made as Utah, just less threes. Utah has three more threes than them. So if Atlanta can get it cracking from what you call it, great offense as Zach found Jalen. Jalen found Asa, and Asa put it home. So it's 7:30 to go. Hawks down by one, 105, 106. So we got away from the ball foul on Jalen. So I believe he picks up his third. So Jalen now has three fouls. Hey, Kyle Pitts sitting courtside. Hopefully the Falcons resign Kyle Pitts. Great stuff from the Hawks defense to force a turnover there. So like I said, it's plenty of time as Utah adds to their turnover total. They now have 8. It's plenty of time for Atlanta to kind of get stuff clicking on defense and get some stops. So we got a foul on Sensabaugh holding Asa Newell. It's 105, 106. And like I said, Atlanta starts getting turnovers, they're gonna be able to get buckets because that's gonna create transition opportunities. Numbers 3-on-1, 3-on-2s. So Asa, great stuff. Fighting for that board, he gets pushed. Nikhil should have definitely got that foul, I think. So fifth foul on Bryce Sensabaugh, which probably would impact Utah's ability to come back. So 7:05 facts. With Atlanta, definitely bet points because they are liable to give it up and they are liable to get a bucket. Ricochet can't get it to go, but Jalen cleans it up and gets a and one. Get big, my boy. As Ricochet can't get that bucket to go, unfortunately, but Jalen cleans it up, no problem. So Kyle Filipowski now has 5 fouls. So Jalen has an opportunity for 3 points the old-fashioned way. So Jalen now has 15 points, 13 rebounds, and he continues to have 15 points. So 15 points, 15 assists, 13 rebounds for Jalen. It's a 1 point game, 6:45 to go. See if Atlanta can string together these stops that they've been getting. They've gotten Utah to turn the ball over a couple times as Ace Bailey, the Chattanooga Hooper, knocks down that triple to put up the Jazz by 2. Ricochet off on that triple. It's tough. Second half 3 point shooting has been tough on Atlanta as Ace Bailey just gets stuffed by the rim. Ooh. So Ace Bailey gets stuffed by the rim, and now Filipowski's going to the line. So Dyson and Jock coming back in the game for the Hawks after this free throw. Jazz up by 2. 6:18 left in this fourth quarter. See how Atlanta closes it out. I have faith in them. As Filipowski in and out on that free throw, that's exactly what the Hawks need. As Asa checks out. And like I said, Nikhil's leap from 9 points to 19 is huge. Filipowski makes it a 3 point game. So unfortunately, Jock Landale can't even the game up. It is now 107 to 110. Sensabaugh getting to the lane. It's a weak call. Uh, The Jazz are giving this game to Atlanta, and Atlanta is failing to take advantage. Atlanta has to win this game. Since the ball misses the first at the line, it's 110, 107. Jalen comes up with the board. We good. 107, 110. Jalen drives, no problem. And one. Let's get that and one the old fashioned way. Let's get that 3-point play the old fashioned way. It's no problem, man. Get that little that boy off you. As he fouls Bryce Sensabaugh out. Get him out of here. Get him out of here, coach. Why did it look like Jonte Porter was sitting baseline? So Jalen to the line and knocks that down for the 3-point play the old way. So great stuff from Jalen tonight. He has 18 points, 14 rebounds, 15 assists. So Collier operating for the Jazz. I think this is a great, little demo game for Jalen to kind of start taking over, kind of recognizing, hey, this is my chance to kind of practice these moments. As Jalen finds Nikhil on the wing, swing for Atlanta. CJ, good midi, just can't get that to go. But kind of wish CJ gave that back to Jalen. So as wow, Nikhil gets leveled on the screen as CJ McCollum is now guarding Isaiah Collier. Isaiah getting to the spot, cannot get it to go. Cody Williams can't get it to go. Utah cleans it up. 4 minutes to go, down by 4. Not too bad. Oh man, before this game gets interesting, y'all, I've been drinking too much water. Give me 1 second. I'm over to the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, man. This game kind of stressing me out. So Jazz up by 4. Dominique trying to cope for the Jazz tank. He trying to justify it, send Lauren Marketing for the last 5 minutes of the game. Like I said, the Jazz are just giving it to Atlanta, and Jalen is going to take it himself as he knocks down that layup with ease. So it's 112 to 114. Jalen now has 20 points. Good defense by Jock, and Dyson comes up with the board. Although I think he got his feet swept out from under him. The Hawks do not need to settle. As Jalen finds Dyson, Dyson attacks. Jalen thinks about it, rises up for that three. Three ball has not been friendly for Atlanta, so obviously when you're in the middle of the action, you're not necessarily thinking about that. You're thinking about the best shot you can get. But you want to see, as a fan, Atlanta just get easy buckets. So Hawks cannot turn the corner. They've struggled this year to turn the corner. They've lost games where they probably could have won. Dyson with a good look at three. Jalen gets the board, tries to find Jock, but Utah gets in the way. But Dyson shooting in crunch time from three, great stuff. You need that. No matter if it goes in or not, he's going to start knocking those down. So Hawks down by 4. 3 minutes to go. No pressure here. No pressure. Hawks have plenty of time to turn this around. Dyson finds Jock. Jock finds Jalen. Jalen drives. Spins, cutting Dyson. No problem. Gets it up. Can't get it to go, though. So Hawks defense needs to make a stand here as they are doubling Collier now. And Jalen corrals it. So a steal right there. Like I said, they need to make a stand here. It's 114 to 116. So they are trying to take advantage of the mismatch on CJ and Collier. Oh, Jalen just got a little too ambitious with that one. He cannot find Nikhil leaking out. So 2 minutes to go. Not necessarily the crucial mark. 2 minutes to go, like I said. Hawks down by 2. Just one possession. Dyson needs to find a way to stay on Collier. They don't need these switches. Whew. But long rebound finds Utah's possession. So minute 40. Only 10 minutes to go on the shot, or 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, excuse me. Nikhil on Collier. He gets to a spot. Can't get it to go. Utah with another offensive rebound. So they'll have 10 seconds to shoot it. Ace Bailey's turn. As CJ McCollum gets the step back put on him. Can't get it to go. But Utah gets another offensive board with a minute to go. 5 seconds to go. It's probably going to be a bad shot. CJ McCollum comes up big. They finally get the switch, and now CJ McCollum gets a block. So that's a shot clock violation. So that's a turnover for Utah. as Utah comes away with three straight offensive rebounds. Three straight. Three straight offensive rebounds. Probably would have been beneficial to have Zach out there instead of CJ, but hey, for rebounding purposes. But we'll see. Under a minute to go, Atlanta's down by two. They don't need a desperate 3-point shot. They just need to even it up and rely on their defense to get a stop. Young Jock for three. As Nikhil drove aggressively, he finds Jock Landale for his 26th point. Atlanta just needs to play good defense here as Isaiah Collier gets it up. Oh, man. Four offensive rebounds in the last 70 seconds. That's going to be a timeout here for. No timeout. Just a break in the play to see if this hit the rim. So we got an officials timeout to review the clock. But Jock Landale, huge first game for the Hawks. He has 26 points. He is now 5 of 8 from 3, 10 of 14 from the field. Whew. Ooh-wee. Jock Landale to save the day. Utah really just giving Atlanta the chance to win this game tonight, though. Yeah, so shot clock is gonna stay at 6 seconds. I don't think the ball hit the rim on that shot attempt. So we have a 28.1 second mark on the game clock. 6 seconds for Utah to shoot if the time stands. This game is going down to the wire, like Street Lemon said, it's going down to the final seconds. So appreciate everybody tuned in to the Open Gym for this Atlanta Hawks versus Utah Jazz matchup. If you're enjoying it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow whichever platform you're on. I greatly appreciate it. Every single one helps, and I greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in along the way, growing this channel, following the Hawks along their way. So I appreciate everybody tuning in here. Let's see if Atlanta can get this dub, send us off to the weekend right. So next game is against Charlotte on Saturday. Unfortunately, we won't be in the Open Gym for that. I won't be here. So Saturday we'll be missing that game, but we'll be watching for sure somehow. So we need a defensive stand right here, and then we need some clutch buckets at the free throw line. Whoever gets the ball is probably gonna get fouled. So big game from Jock. He has 26 points. We got a break in the action. Why the break? They are trying to see if the ball hit the rim on the shot attempt for Utah, um, because it was a long rebound. All right, man. Charlotte is up on Houston, 91-75. Let me brace out real quick. Charlotte is playing Atlanta on Saturday, so get ready, y'all. Just get ready. Just get ready. We don't know what Charlotte team gonna pop out. And recently, the month of January, Charlotte had. Hey, man, Charles Lee and them might be up to something. So yeah, they're trying to rule if the shot hit the rim. So that break is over with. They ruled that it missed the rim on the shot attempt, so shot clock remains at 6 seconds. 6 seconds to shoot for the Utah Jazz. Atlanta just needs to stand right here. So here we go. Jalen frustrating Kyle Filipowski. The handoff isn't so smooth. Filipowski has 1 second. He puts up a prayer. He can't even connect on the rim. He not even used to that in his life. Maybe in high school. That was the last time he ever had a shot during the end of a clock. So it's a 1 point game. Atlanta needs to make a smart decision. They have 2 timeouts. They just need to make a smart decision. Jalen inbounding. Yeah, he finds CJ. Oh my God. CJ gets it to Jalen. Jalen finds Nikhil. They are electing to not foul. And they foul one of the best free throw shooters on the floor for Atlanta. It's 117, 116. Let's see if Nikhil can put this away. Or at least help Atlanta put it away and make it at least more difficult for the Jazz. It's 117 to 116. Nikhil knocks down the first one. So Nikhil has 21 as he knocks down that second free throw. Great stuff from Nikhil putting this game just a little more out of, I wouldn't even say out of reach, but he makes it a little more difficult for the Jazz to make it a game. So Jazz have 1 timeout. Atlanta has 2 timeouts. Utah is just giving this game to Atlanta, so I doubt that this game goes into overtime. But shout out to Jalen. Shout out to Jalen, man. He has 22 points, 16 rebounds, and 15 assists. He isn't the only one, though. Jock Landale has a breakout game in his first game for the Hawks. He has 26 points, 10 of 14 from the field, 5 of 8, I believe, from the three-point line, which is a career high in three-point field goals made. So he is fitting in nicely. Dyson has 11 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. It was a tough game for Richeche. He wasn't able to crack scoring there. But Corey Kispert had 20. CJ had a good game off the bench. So great night from Jalen, as he has kind of been owning the Jazz. He had a 30-point triple double the last time he played the Jazz, and tonight, same thing. A 22-point triple double, and it wasn't nothing like 20, 10, and 10. It was 22, 16, and 15. So if let's see how this last 13 seconds goes. Cody Williams gets it to Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey ties it for the Utah Jazz. Atlanta's electing to just ride it out. It's 9 seconds. They have 2 timeouts. No problem. Nikhil going with it. Nikhil Walker with the big turnaround jumper. It's 121 to 119 as Nikhil comes up huge. What Anthony Edwards say? Nikhil motherfucking Walker. Nikhil motherfucking Walker. That's what I'm talking about right there, man. As Nikhil Alexander steps up big time for Atlanta. He finally steps up big. Atlanta's been looking for a clutch performance from somebody to close it out. And Nikhil does just that. Takes advantage of Isaiah Collier playing some loose defense. Gets to a spot. Turnaround jumper. Wet. Water. Yeah, let's go. As Nikhil steps up big time. With the clock winding down. It's at 1.3, man. 1.3. My heart rate going up crazy right now, too. My heart rate going crazy right now, too. Street living, man. What's going on, man? I'm stressed out. It's 121, 119. Jazz can win with a 3. They can tie with a 2. I'm guessing they're gonna just go for the three, no question. So we'll see if the Jazz hit a miracle shot, but it's not looking likely. It's 121, 119 as Atlanta takes a 2-point lead off that Nikhil Walker turnaround. It's gonna wind up being the game winner. So I still got the broadcast playing. It's 1.3, but all the notifications are coming through that Atlanta has closed out this game. They got the dub over the Jazz. It's one step closer to 500, man. It's great stuff as Ace Bailey tries again from the same spot, but Atlanta not giving that up. They not giving it up as Ace Bailey tries for the Jazz, but he can't get it to go. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Atlanta needed this. Utah Jazz really gave it away, low key. So it's positive for Atlanta. Appreciate Dash of Davi tapping in, moderating here. Appreciate that, letting everybody know. Tap in, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in this stream. Atlanta comes away with the dub. Big game from Jock Landale, man. He definitely hit the scene. Pretty hit the ground running as Atlanta comes away with the dub. Fourth quarter, close it out. They wind up winning that fourth quarter 29-23. So they close out the game pretty strong. Kind of win it by their defense. In that last 5 minutes, Utah did have a 6-7 point lead, but Atlanta's defense definitely turned into offense, and they come away with a dub. They had to get this dub in all honesty, to be honest. A struggling Utah Jazz, I get that. Like I said, they dropped the game to the Pacers. Pacers' record isn't reflective of how good they are. Still, even minus Halliburton, but Atlanta needed, probably should have got the game against the Pacers, but they get the game they need to get tonight, and they beat the Jazz by 2, by 20. It don't matter. A dub is a dub. So great stuff overall. This game was led by Jock Landale, but obviously finished by Nikhil's turnaround to kind of seal it. It turned out to be the game winner. So shout out to Nikhil for that game winner. Nikhil, 23. He ends the game with 23, 9 of 15 from the field. Didn't hit a three, but hey, man, you don't need to hit a three to be productive. 5 assists for Nikhil, 2 steals, so play good defense. Ricochet, like I said, tough game for him. 6 boards, though. So he was still somewhat productive. He was 0 of 8 from the field, so hopefully Ricochet can kind of turn that around, have a good game next game. Watch, he going to have 30 next game. I'm not going to be here. that's just how the cookie crumbles. But Jalen Johnson, another triple-double. That's 3 straight. That's number 10 for Jalen. So he is having a career year. He also did not hit a three-point field goal. Kind of a theme for the Hawks. Jalen, Ricochet, and Dyson. Nikhil, Zach, and Jalen did not hit a three-point field goal this game. So hopefully next game it turns around. But Jalen didn't need no threes. 22 points, 16 rebounds, 15 assists. Only 4 turnovers, so 15 assists compared to 4 turnovers. I don't know the numbers on that. So shout out to the Hawks, man. It's a much needed dub. Shout out to Jock Landale. His first game as a Hawk, pretty good. I will say pretty good. 26 points. Excellent game. 10 of 14 from the field. 5 of 8 from 3. Career night from 3. So shout out to Jock. He had 4 blocks too. So impact on defense. Great stuff. Mind you, he has 6 offensive rebounds. So Jock Landale going to work, man. Going to work. He just got here, man. He drove down from Memphis. He didn't even go to Utah. He drove down from Memphis. That's hilarious. Shout out to Jock, man. I'm excited to see what the next game brings. Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield, my team. So it's gonna be interesting, y'all. Gonna be interesting. So let's hold into this. Much needed. They step one step closer to 500, like I said, which is much needed before the All-Star break. They have one more game, and that's against the Charlotte, who are rolling right now. They are up by, oh my goodness, they're up by 22 points on. They're up by 22 points on the Houston Rockets. What is going on? Charlotte is up. They the The Southeastern Division, the South in the East, I think might be in the running in the coming years for one of the best divisions in the East. I can't even lie. It might have shifted. It might have shifted. Washington's going to be competitive. If Charlotte keeps on this pace, they're going to be competitive out the gate next year. Miami might be the team that kind of might fall off. We'll see what they do in the offseason. Orlando is going to be interesting to see what they do the rest of the year if they can continue kind of riding out that above 500 record. So we'll see, man. It's getting interesting. Charlotte, Miami, Atlanta, Orlando. Charlotte's the only one under 500, along with Atlanta. Excuse me. Atlanta and Charlotte are the ones under 500, but they're just games away. They're just games away. So we'll see. Charlotte's on a 7-game win streak. Is looking like it's gonna be 8. So they're gonna be coming into that match